Oh my God.
The Nuggets, maybe they had too much turkey and stuffing, Eric. Maybe that was the problem.
They had too much guy from Turkey. Who was stuffing.
He was stuffing them. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Losers Lounge.
Why do we keep paying rent here? Why do we keep coming back?
Not only do the Nuggets lose, they get mundered. They get mega mundered tonight.
They got murdered.
They got murdered tonight, man. We're going to break it all down. We're also going to talk about, look, man, no Murray, understandable, but that bench, Michael Malone is really trying everything he can think of to get that bench going. Is he pushing the right buttons? Absolutely not. Maybe there's no buttons to push. We're going to break it all down, though. I got Harrison Wind here.
I think the only good thing about tonight was the meal I had at the bar.
Oh. Actually, great crowd at the bar, man.
Great crowd, great vibes.
I'll be honest. Nuggets lose by 19 points. That was the best crowd for being down, basically all game down 20. Every time the Nuggets made like 2 baskets in a row, this place was popping.
Dude, every time they made 1 basket in a row.
This place was like trying to will
crowd
into like,
wanted it.
Yes,
come
they
on, let's go.
wanted
And
it
it's like,
bad.
guys, but they don't have it tonight, man, for whatever reason. I got D-line.
Man, I gotta say, this sucks.
Yeah.
It's just like, this
not great.
really sucks. Like, it is, it's different to go through these like lulls when you've seen the mountaintop. You know?
You think it's, see, I think it's easier.
For me, it's more difficult because you know what they're capable of, and they're just like giving you so little that you're like, you're like, I know there's more in there. You're not giving it, but like, we're still here.
Speaking of somebody capable who gives you nothing, it's Superstar Dev.
I can't believe that we're here again. There's just no fun.
We are just hanging out here, man.
We're just hanging here. Like, it's dark in here.
I know, dude.
It's cold.
It is cold.
This is turning into like
It's lonely.
It is
This
lonely.
turned from like recess to like third period. We're just like here.
Guys, the quick recap is going to be really quick tonight because there weren't a lot of good notes. The Rockets out to a hot start. That's my first note. But Jokic dominating, being aggressive. In the first quarter, he had 14 points, 8 rebounds just in his first stint. A sign of things to come. He was aggressive all night long. Knew he probably needed to take a bunch of shots, and take a bunch of shots he did. No Jalen Pickett tonight, you guys. Michael Malone is tightening up his bench rotation. He even had a quick hook with Zeke Naji. I think Zeke Naji played 1 minute in the first half.
He did.
Very, very quick hook. So no Pickett and really no Zeke. Did it fix the bench's problems? Absolutely not. The Nuggets' bench. Denver could not buy a bucket, starters or bench, tonight in the first half. And they were 5 of 26 as a team in the first quarter. I think all but one of those was Jokic. It was like ridiculous how off Denver was. And their bench comes into the game and things go from bad to worse. 29-19 Rockets at the end of the first quarter.
What do you think the Rockets would charge the Nuggets for a bucket? If you were to buy a bucket, what would it?
Would have been expensive tonight.
$20,000. What does it look like to buy a bucket?
The Cronkies were paying the night.
I'm
They
saying,
were like, no,
like,
thank
we gotta
you.
break
No,
up.
thank you.
We gotta break up the check.
Aaron Gordon in for Zeke Naji. So Zeke comes in for a cup of tea, gets pulled right away. Aaron Gordon in. Still no Pickett in the second quarter, so they're clearly just going to that. Rage timeout on the first possession. Do you guys remember this?
That was a vintage moment, man.
Vintage
That was an all-timer.
Very first possession of the quarter, Malone rage timeout. He is pissed off. I don't have another note in the half. It just says 60-43 Rockets.
Yep, that's about right. That's all you need.
Nuggets third quarter, 0 stops. Whatever halftime adjustment or speech, making no difference on the defensive end.
Nope.
They did make a push towards the end of the quarter, largely behind Jokic. He started to get it going, percolating a little bit, putting up monster numbers, but the Nuggets are down 15, 84-69. Zeke Naji in the fourth quarter, he missed a layup I've never seen before. Gets a lefty, pretty much wide open layup, and it goes hard off the backboard. He hit it so it went further away from where it started.
It was the type of miss that NBA players don't have. You don't see an NBA player miss like that let alone a 6'11" guy from 0 feet away from the basket.
It was a good power move too. Like he was like
It looked
aggressive.
good
Like he was like,
until he shot it.
and then he shot it, and it was like, oh god. Jokic comes back in down 12 points, immediately finds Holiday for a 3, cuts it to 9, and I'm telling you guys, there was a moment where I thought the Nuggets were just going to Jokic out a win.
It felt that way.
And what happens? About 8 50-50 balls in a row go to the Houston's way. And some of this was just bad bounces, long rebounds that just happened to find themselves right to the perfect guy, and then layup ensues. But some of it was also just like, man, there were so many moments where Denver just needed a guy to make a play. That was one of those ones where if you had a timeout coming out of it, you're looking at the role guys going, just make a play. Just do something that gets this team fired up. Nobody had it in them. They lost it all. And that 9-point, they cut it to 9 ever so briefly, immediately balloons up to 15. And that's your game. All right, Dev, start us off. What's your big takeaway?
My big takeaway is I've been holding out. There's been a lot of people that have been in the chat. They've been on the timeline just talking about trading the Nuggets players. And I was just saying, don't do it. I am now getting closer to ready to
Dev's
let
on the
people
timeline?
go. I'm ready for people to get off of the team if this is the type of performances that we're going to see from them. This bench is useless right now. There's nothing that they're giving the team. They're not even buying time for the starters. And in this game, I don't even know if it would have mattered because that's how bad even guys in the starters are playing. But the big takeaway is maybe we should explore our options.
Jokic played 42 minutes tonight. You know who also is ready to trade the players? Michael Malone. Like,
Oh, I thought you were going to say Nikola Jokic.
well, maybe Nikola Jokic too, to be honest. But Michael Malone tonight in a regular season game, yes, it's an in-season tournament, but he rode Jokic for 42 minutes, Aaron Gordon for 39, KCP for 39 in a 20-point loss.
He didn't ride him because it was the in-season tournament. He rode him because all trust in his bench is disintegrating by the minute.
I mean, I understand why. What's your big takeaway?
The Nuggets need a reset of some kind.
Yeah.
They are in a tailspin. They are like, this game was predictable. I didn't have any hopes for them to win this game tonight. Like coming into it, they are just like in a place that it's been a really long time since I've seen them. And the last time they were like this, it was going down the stretch of last season. But like we knew why. And we know why, like, there's a good chance that if you are down 9 in the fourth quarter and you have Jokic and Murray and you just go to exclusive 2-man game, it's not unreasonable to think that they would have pulled that game out. But it's bigger than that, man. Like something's just wrong with this team right now. And I don't know if it's the road trip. I mean, sometimes, I think we're talking about the human element quite a bit when we're looking at this team at this moment. There are obvious roster construction issues that should be acknowledged, and we probably should start talking about trades and how they can bolster that bench unit, because like those are mostly the bench players. Like the bench played together as it will, without a stagger for portions of the night, and they weren't bad. They were not NBA talent. Like that wasn't an NBA team on the court. Like you can't go forward with that. So
I'm going to disagree with you, but not yet. I mean, it's a good take, and I think it's like you're not alone in this take by any means. But I do want to present a counter take here in a second. What's your big takeaway?
My big takeaway is similar. The Nuggets have lost their identity. They've lost who they are. They've lost the mindset that they entered this season with. The Nuggets to start this season, we all expected them to have a championship hangover. We expected them to be a little lackadaisical. They came out of the gates hungry, aggressive, playing hard, locking in on defense. And ever since Jamal Murray got hurt, they've lost that identity. They've lost that way of playing. And they've got to get it back. There are a lot of issues going on with this team right now. I think a lot of them are magnified by Jamal Murray not being out there. That's where the Nuggets' problems start. And part of me actually does think that him getting back cures almost all their problems. But right now, their problems are more than that. Right now, they're not playing Nuggets basketball. They've lost their identity. They've lost their focus. And being on a 5-game road trip, that can happen. We've seen that happen in years past. one issue goes into another, and it snowballs from there. But these are not the Nuggets. They're not playing Nuggets basketball anymore. And, that issue, it doesn't matter who's on the floor for. Like, it doesn't matter who should be playing. You have a certain culture and a certain way of playing, and they've lost that throughout this road trip.
I mean, definitely feel like they have lost anything that resembles like positive flow or positive rhythm or connectivity. Here's my thing, and here's why I was going to push back on this, and I'm not even pushing back on it as a certainty. I'm more highlighting a larger problem. Reggie Jackson's had a pretty good year this year. Tonight, Michael Malone says no backup point guard. Instead, we're going to stagger the no point guard look with Jokic, which we've all liked, right? We've all wanted to see that.
Oh, yeah.
And instead, we're going to have Reggie run the bench. How'd Reggie look tonight in the non-Jokic minutes? Minus 26. Minus 26 tonight. 1 of 8 shooting. He had 2 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 6 turnovers. Aaron Gordon. They say no Zeke Naji tonight. We're going to play Aaron Gordon at backup center. How did he look in the non-Jokic minutes?
Disaster.
Are these guys bad players all of a sudden? So this is why I get a little bit leery. And then I pulled this stat today and put it on the timeline. This is the Nuggets without Jokic on the court over the last 6 seasons. This year, coming into tonight, minus 7.8 net rating. That's atrocious. It's going to go down a lot. It's probably going to be like minus 8, minus 9 after today's game. Last year, it was minus 10. It was actually worse last year, guys, the non-Jokic minutes. The year before that, minus 7.7. 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, minus 0.74. That's not too bad. And then prior to that, it was minus 1.62. Mm-hmm. So back when they had Murray to stagger, it was a regular bad lineup. Minus 1 or 2. Minus 1 or 2. When Murray has been out, and then this year, it's minus 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
And this is my thing, man. Denver has tried out different combinations. I'm just so cautious about this idea of, no, they need drastically different players. When we have 7 years of data that says no matter who you put on the court when Yoke's not out there, this team sucks. And that's why I'm a little bit scared. And then tonight, it's the guys that didn't play with Jokic tonight that suck that usually are really good.
But I mean, like, what you're saying that it's just impossible for a team to be good if Jokic is not with them?
No,
in a Denver
no.
Nugget uniform?
No, I'm just saying that they haven't. And that makes me think,
Well,
if you trade them out and get new pieces, why do we think that's going to fix when they've gone through Monte and Plumlee and Lyles and all these
You're not talking about, like,
iterations of it.
dynamic offensive options there either. I mean, like, I'm not saying that they should completely, like, I'm not calling for massive change, but I'm saying, like, the players they got, like, they're not finding any chemistry with one another. Whether it's a systemic issue or it's a personnel
but that's
issue.
what I'm hitting at, is that it might not just be personnel, because there's been different personnel over the last 6 years.
But this is worse.
No, it's actually not worse than last year. It's actually better than last year.
This bench that scored 2 points is better than last year?
I'm saying statistically, last year was a minus 10 per 100 possessions without Jokic, and this year it's minus 8.
Yeah, but this year also includes time with Jamal Murray and stuff. I'm just saying, like, these young players, like, it's funny, you watch a team like the Houston Rockets that we last year would clown all the time because it's just a bunch of young players that run around with no organization. Like, there was energy in every player had energy on that squad tonight. Like, none of the Nuggets had energy tonight. Like, none of them. And it's like it's a little concerning that your young players aren't at least giving you that.
Right.
I know we're just like so fresh off of that, but that just feels like the bottom. It doesn't feel like it could have gotten worse than that. I mean, and it's early in the season, but I don't see that changing like by just inserting one guy in. They just don't look like themselves right now, like in any capacity. They're just lackadaisical. They're no energy. Nobody competes. It's only Jokic out there right now. Like, really,
Literally
that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Which is a
I
scary
got to
spot
shout
to
out
be in.
KCP, who had 20 points. Like, he was the one guy who at least brought his jumper.
KCP brought it today, but also he had to be somebody that he was not.
Yeah.
Because of no one else stepping up. So yeah, you want to credit the guy that tried to pick up the pieces for other guys. So KCP competed, but they don't look like themselves, which puts people in very bad spots. That's why it's so important for everyone to do their job.
Yeah.
And when the bench is not giving you anything, starters are not playing up to their full capacity. It's just it doesn't seem like there is a up from there.
Yeah, I just think we've seen how needed Jamal Murray is on the second unit to just piece together a lineup that's going to go -4, -5. His absence has really exposed like how little backup guard depth is on this roster.
Yeah.
Reggie Jackson has had a great season. He's had a great season. We've seen his deficiencies, though, on this road trip. Jalen Pickett, Colin Gillespie, they are who we thought they were, most likely. And then after that, there's no other point guard that Michael Malone can go to. I think there is a scenario where Jamal Murray comes back. I don't know when he's coming back. Next game or a week from now, he pops onto the second unit, and the second unit looks great again, or looks as good as it did at the beginning of the season when we were talking about it being a weapon. I think that could very well happen. But I don't know if Jamal Murray's coming back, and that's why I wouldn't be surprised if there were some changes made.
What do you mean when you say changes made?
So I anticipate Justin Holiday entering the rotation once the Nuggets return home.
Or
here.
Braxton Key.
Don't you feel like Justin Holiday kind of deserves it?
He does. He's played well whenever Michael Malone's gone to him in some of these second halves or for a quarter here or a stint there. He provided good energy tonight.
He was a +9 tonight. I mean, 13 minutes, 3 points, 1 steal, no other stats.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he put up numbers, but I mean, +9 when that bench was hemorrhaging?
Yeah. I think Michael Malone, if I know Michael Malone, is going to look at Justin Holiday and go, that's a guy I need to throw into the mix on the second unit just because I know he's going to bring something to the table. And right now, man, Peyton Watson not bringing anything to the table. Zeke Naji not bringing anything to the table. There are some guys just running up and down the floor right now off the bench. And Justin Holiday, I do think he deserves a chance. I do.
Dev's kind of laughing like, come on, that ain't the magic bullet.
I'm not saying it's a magic bullet.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a magic bullet.
Totally.
I think the Nuggets' best strategy with the bench is when Jamal Murray gets back to go with the same group they started the season with. But until then, you might just have to do something. You might have to try something.
That's a horrible spot to be in, and that really is why it feels like it's worse than it's ever been. Like I know that we had some lows last year, but it didn't feel like it was this or to this point.
I feel like that's actually. This actually reminds me exactly of last year.
It does?
Yes, because if you remember, in like November, Denver went on a long road trip and lost all of them as well, and things were looking bad, and we were wondering what's wrong with the Nuggets. And then they had a big home spell, and then obviously everything changed. So some of this to me is like, I just don't feel the sky is falling. I just feel like they suck right now.
Well, that's it. Is that like the sky is not falling and that the season is not over? And of course, I mean, like anybody saying that is like you don't know NBA basketball. But in the short, like, how can we fix this in the short term? Like
you know what Denver
day-to-day
was through 16 games last year?
Not the champions.
10-6. They're 10-6 right now. And they were 10-6 last year.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is, and it was the same thing where they went on the road trips and they just kept losing on the road, and we kept wondering, is this team not good or whatever? But it was because they played most of their early games on the road and then got home and won like everything they played.
Which is, I think the larger thing that we've been saying is like, we could just say like none of this matters. This is how it goes in the NBA. We have said these things like. This is not uncommon. This is like, in fact, in the Jokic era, like the reason Jokic is his thing is because like the Nuggets suck until Jokic, basically. It's just the pattern of the Nuggets. It's just the difference is that we are the current champions, and you expect more. You expect them to not fall back into same non-champion habits and like be able to show that there are more than two players on this team. That it's like if we find ourselves in a situation going down the stretch where we don't have Jokic and Murray, that it's not like total panic, but nothing we've seen in this early season gives you any kind of feeling of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, they are the champions, and they're the champions because of Jokic and Murray.
Yeah.
And like when those two come back, it's like, okay, cool, let's take a breath. But it sucks like how dispirited they're playing. And like they're not losing, like they're giving up. And it's like gross to watch.
Yeah. Big picture, they're fine. They are. They're 10-6. It's whatever. It feels shitty now, but I think they'll be very okay when Jamal Murray returns. And I just think putting Justin Holiday out there If it's for Peyton Watson, see what it looks like. Like right now, Peyton Watson's not giving you anything. He's clearly lost, I think, just some of his swag and some of his confidence. And he's not making the same type of game-changing defensive plays that he was making earlier in the season. He's still the future of the second unit potentially. You know, he's still a big piece of what you're doing going forward this season, but is it the end of the world if you sit him down for a couple games and put Justin Holiday in? Justin Holiday is going to play hard. He's going to make
he's not
the
gonna
right
make
reads.
mistakes.
Yeah, he's not going to make mistakes. I mean, it's not going to cure everything, but I could see it happening.
What was the biggest thing about this offseason compared to last, offseason, or just going forward? The biggest thing was if you do the Justin Holiday, you admit that Coach Malone has been right in playing those old vets and things like that. And we gave Calvin Booth, and we give Calvin Booth a lot of credit for how he gets had brought in the younger guys and drafted. Those guys are not playing right now. And if you go to the Justin Holiday, you're pushing more to that where he's like, this is what you've given me and this is what I have to make for it. Jalen Pickett's not playing. Julian Strawther's not playing. And you kind of understood why Julian Strawther's not. He's so young.
He's older than
Peyton Watson. So then if you go with Justin Holiday, you go with DeAndre Jordan, you're like, we're in the same spot as last year, which is a good spot, but why not keep those guys then?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, at the moment, so many different guys are playing bad that I do feel like you got to try some things out. And the whole thing with Malone, Justin Holiday said Malone told him when they signed him that the people that deserve to play are going to play. And then he started the year with Peyton Watson, and it did feel like, okay, he's going to give a runway to these young guys. And they started hot, and that runway is extended. But to your point, at this very moment, it's hard to make a case for Pickett playing, for Peyton playing, for Zeke playing. I think you make a good case for Reggie. Obviously, he's struggled, and since Murray's gone down, he's struggled. Yeah. And then you have a case for Christian Brown, who we'll talk about later. But outside of that, honestly, Julian Strawther might be the next guy that you look at and say has actually earned it. So I do look at this as saying there's a handful of guys. Let's take a break. One thing I'll say, Nuggets have 6 of their next 8 are on the road. So it's not like they're going to have to figure out the road stuff, because right now it's also a road problem. They're going to have to figure that out before the schedule becomes very favorable after that. They're at home for 6 weeks, which will be nice. But this is why I say it reminds me of last year, where Denver was riding this rocky road until they got a big homestand, and then they won them all.
We were just hoping that they would come out and be the 67-win Warriors, and they're just not, clearly.
We should ask later on if the Nuggets are capable of that, if it's in their DNA, because part of me wonders if it is. But we'll talk about that on the other side.
In the NBA, the game can change in an instant. But no matter how the action unfolds, DraftKings Sportsbook has your back this week. New customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Win or lose, you get an instant dub. So if you were a new user and you bet $5 on the Nuggets tonight, even though they lost, even though it was an awful game, you still would have gotten $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code DNVR. New customers can score $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on basketball. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code DNVR. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. In West Virginia, www.1800gambler.net. Please play responsibly. In Connecticut, help is available for problems with gambling. Call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. Must be 21 plus or older in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Also, shout out to Shady Rays. It was snowing today or last night. You still need those Shady Rays, though, to set you up for the weather. Our friends at Shady Rays, they've got you covered.
Get the ski goggles.
For the warm or cold weather ahead. Premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Right now, you can go to shadyrays.com. You can use the code DNVR. 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Also, right now, Shady Rays, they're having their biggest deal of the year, biggest sale of the year for Black Friday. Don't miss out on the best deals for shades and snow goggles and prescription sunglasses. ShadyRays.com. Use the code DNVR, 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses.
Alrighty, let's come back here. Segment 2. What else should we get to through this game? First of all, are the Rockets good? Because they've made the Nuggets look really bad, but you look at their record, 8-6. They did have that 6-game win streak. They've dropped a handful.
They're great at home.
They're really good at home. They're now moved to 8-1 at home.
I mean, I do think they're good. I do think they're good,
They're
but
well
I don't think
coached,
it's
they
like
play hard. They have talent.
Yeah, I don't think it's a game the Nuggets should drop, and certainly not in this fashion. But like, I think that they're like going to be in the conversation for the playoffs and for reasonable seeding too.
Freddie Velvet plus 30, by the way. I feel like he's a tough cover for the Nuggets specifically. That's the type of guy that seems to give Denver a hard time, Dev.
He destroys them every single time. Like he's like just kind of in a way hunting matchups. Like he's like waiting for that matchup and he just attacks them. Denver does have to like read into these type of games because we are always often looking at the like double big lineup, but also the guards. Like they really have been trying to make it a point to just attack off of those mismatches, and he provides a lot of those. So there's things to see in those.
I mean, like, the Rockets got talent. Like, they had talent last year. They were just a mess and poorly coached. Now they're organized. They have some sense of what they're doing, and you're seeing the talent shine through. They're playing through Alperen Şengün. He looked good again tonight, I thought. His jumper was going. So they are a talented team, absolutely.
How concerned are we about the workload Yoke's taken on so far this year? I mean, 42 minutes is... I hate seeing that, especially in such a game that I never really felt like Denver was going to win.
I know. I'm not concerned yet, but this is not ideal. It's not ideal for him to play 42 minutes. It's not ideal to have zero trust in your backup center right now, and that's the real issue, man. Like, we had high expectations for Zeke Naji coming into this season. He got the contract. You thought maybe that'd be a confidence booster for him, and he's looked definitely worse than he looked last year.
I think ever. Honestly,
maybe ever. Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, if we were doing like tiers of disappointment, to me, Zeke Naji has to be number one, and I'm worried, Dev, because the Nuggets gave him a contract. This is not one of those things where it's like, if it didn't work out, you try to go elsewhere. The Nuggets gave him a contract, and I feel like Malone feels the way we feel, which is zero. I mean, tonight was and this whole road trip, honestly, has been a message to Zeke. Nobody has confidence in you.
Nobody has confidence in you. And if there's people out there that are going to say, why are they blaming it on Zeke? He only played, less than 4 minutes in this game.
It's true.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Your backup center is playing less than 4 minutes, where your star has to play 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's on a road trip, and he's been having to do it every single game. You should have a guy that's serviceable, where you're not having to put power forwards out there on there. Out there on centers, where you're giving your guy more minutes, where you're not just hemorrhaging points every single time that he's out there, or he can just hold his own. Nobody has confidence in him right now. And if the coach gives up on you, who can believe in you, really?
No, I know that. I mean, that was the only thing I can look to now is the teachings of the tarot cards in Ariana, and she said that Zeke Naji was coming into a change, and before I thought that meant that he was like stepping into a new expanded role, but now I think it might mean a change of scenery.
It wasn't about the hair.
It's hard. I don't know. We didn't get the flowing of hair on the card. I don't know, man. It is a wild thing. I totally at least felt good about the idea that Zeke Naji was going to get real minutes in a way that there wasn't a plan B, that it had to work out,
Yeah.
And
now you're like, God damn, no.
I wish there was a plan B. Yeah.
I wish there was a plan B.
It's because Zeke
C.
Naji has been good whenever he's not been hurt.
Right.
His
problem was injury.
Except
This
now,
stint.
right,
This
which
has been really the first time over a prolonged stretch where he's been bad.
right.
So, but here's the thing, Dev, because as much as I agree with you, that's the problem. I'm going to play devil's advocate a lot tonight. Some of this I only half believe, some I don't believe at all. But Zeke only played 4 minutes tonight. He was a plus minus zero. part of me just thinks none of this is as simple as anyone is making it seem, in my opinion. And tonight, to go away from him and the team's worse, it's the same way I feel about Pickett. Like, okay, well, he's ruining everything. Let's go to another card. They actually did worse tonight without those two guys.
When Malone took him out, he was pissed off. It was actually the only time throughout the night like that he openly did. That's where the rage quit came, is because of how mad he was. So this is something that he's been talking to Zeke about, or, you know, it's on his mind of you can't do that. And then he did it again after many conversations. So it's like he's giving them small things to do, because people aren't asking Zeke to go out there and put up crazy numbers or anything like that. It's to just hold your own, give them, you know, some time.
Maybe just a number. Like,
just try.
Put
just
up
care.
a number.
Just be there. Put up a number. And he didn't. So
He had a turnover.
I get, you know, trying to like
His only
have
shot of the
some
game
belief.
was that one
you
layup.
try to get some belief. That was a horrible play on top of that. And I don't even think that was what pissed him off the most.
wasn't. And another guy who's not on the bench who we should talk about is Michael Porter. And Michael Porter, I'll give him this. I do think he's playing hard. It's just not, his thing is not this. 14.7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 block shots. But he, to me, when we've talked about the slump or this or that, it's also just he doesn't seem in rhythm. That's part of it. And tonight was the most rhythmless game.
Dude, Michael Porter is doing this thing where he catches the ball open.
Yes.
And for some reason, he's like doing this step back sidestep.
Yeah.
Every time he sets up for a three.
Yeah.
What is going on?
A little comfort dribble. Like
is.
That's what I mean. He's out of rhythm. Yeah. It's like wide open shot. A dribble for no reason and then shoot it.
Do this sidestep, step back, and step into an even tougher shot. It seems like he's found his 3-point shot a little bit over this trip, but then goes 2 of 8 from 3 tonight, and to that point is just not catching it in rhythm.
Right.
So it was a weird game from him tonight. He didn't take a shot in the first 6 minutes of this game. Then Denver tried to get him going. He just never looked comfortable, I thought.
Yeah, it's like he's another person who is like being given an opportunity to show again. Mike's had a lot of these opportunities where he never, and it's like he never shows out when we need him to. There was a time where both Jokic and Murray were both out. Do you remember this? And it was like, oh, this is Mike's team.
Yeah.
And it was just
really rough.
the worst thing you've ever seen in your entire life.
Was that Minnesota game?
I think so. And it was just like
the worst game ever.
I mean, it was just, you just
Yeah,
can't-
you're right.
You just hold your head like this is so embarrassing. Like this, you cannot play this role. So fine, we don't need you to play that role. You can be the number 3 on a squad, but then Jamal Murray's out. It's like, man, come on. Aaron Gordon and MPJ, are you kidding? In a night where we just keep having these games where somebody else has to step up. Ultimately, the starters with Jokic, but really just Jokic is given just a deeply unfair, deeply impossible task where you have a bench that scores 4 points and you have to cobble a win out of it without your best player, and nobody else outside of I guess just nobody else reliably is stepping up. KCP had a great game, but it's not. You can't always count on KCP.
Yeah, you would expect Michael Porter to just be so
Step
excited
up.
in these type of situations where it's like, hey, I'm the number 2, and I've always wanted to be the number 2, where I'm going to get my
He was
shots
number
up
2.
and things like that. He turned down a lot of shots. He would have had even more attempts in this game if he just shot it the first time. Like his confidence is down, which is wild because he has been making shots. But he's really out of his rhythm, we talked about it, just not being in control the entire time, where he doesn't look comfortable out there. That comfort dribble, that really shows where his mind is offensively right now, where he's not just going to his spots. And he's a natural scorer that now is become a shooter. He just wants to be a shooter. So you just want him to get back into his rhythm of just being able to just get in the flow. And he has that when he has another playmaker out there that can create for him. And that's what Jamal brings. So he's missing his absence right now.
It's just so many Nuggets dealing with confidence right now.
Yeah.
You know, how many Nuggets are would you say are in a confidence rhythm right now? I mean, Jokic.
Sit.
Is that the only one?
Sit. Who else did you
KCP.
say?
He had a
Kinda.
good game tonight.
Tonight.
Well,
was.
tonight, but yeah. I mean, I would say Aaron Gordon. This was a really bad night, so it's hard to say.
Dude, this is
him.
the worst
But
shooting.
but outside of this night, this was his worst shooting night. He had one other game back when he was in Orlando where he went 0 for 12.
He does not look confident.
Dude, he looks like
Yeah, you're right. Actually, he's not shooting threes.
he looks
He's
like
been missing them all. It's hard to be confident when you're not making any shots. And also, he just kind of... Are we on him right now?
Sure.
He just looks lost a lot of the times out there because he's in that dunker spot and they're not giving it to him for the dunker. He's not getting the lob dunk that he gets every single time. He's not doing the Euro slow down. He doesn't look confident. He doesn't look like himself. And he's settling for jump shot after jump shot, which has been a problem all year. Even when his offense was there, the confidence on this jump shot wasn't there. He's missing every single free throw. He's not battling in the same ways that he once was. And it doesn't even look like it's fatigue. It doesn't look like it's like an injury or anything like that. He just cannot make a shot right now.
Yeah,
Can't buy a shot.
He's like bereft of vibe. He has like no vibes. This is the least vibey I've ever seen Aaron Gordon. He's like, he has pain on his face. He's just like walking to the bench. He looks like disheveled. Like he just doesn't look like himself.
He's reverted to Orlando Aaron Gordon
He
way
has.
too much as of late. And I don't think he's attacking the rim hard because he's probably worried about making free throws.
I agree.
He's shooting 50% from the line this year. I mean, that he's never been a great free throw shooter, but at least he was in the mid-60s last year. He's at 50% from the line. I feel like as a result of that, he's not taking the ball to the rack hard. He's not looking to initiate contact. That's when he plays his best, when he's playing physical and strong inside. He's not doing that right now. And as a result, man, he's playing a perimeter game a lot of nights. He's shooting it from three or taking long two fadeaways, and it's the ugly parts of Aaron Gordon's game that he's worked so hard to get out of it.
He needs a 4-bedroom house with a closet. That is what he needs.
And a basketball
He needs
court?
to get the hell out of the basketball court. He needs a regular night's
Not a
rest.
basketball court.
I'm tired
Not
of it.
sleeping. The ball's
I'm
always
tired of
bouncing.
it.
The noise.
Or no,
Expectation.
his problem is that he's not around. He's on the road. He needs
That's
somebody
true,
to
yeah.
bounce basketballs. He needs to go sleep in the gym.
We're down so bad that we're turning on Aaron Gordon's house. I think we previously had a perfect approval rating.
Well, when you're down this bad,
We're
you gotta
questioning
really
everything.
search for excuses.
I'm not even sure about Amy Del Duomo right now.
You shut your
mean,
mouth.
I might be turning on
You
her.
shut your mouth.
She's reaching her peak. She might be over it.
All right, again, I'm going to play a little devil's advocate here, you guys. A little devil's advocate. Let's go through the teams the Nuggets have lost to. They've lost to the Houston Rockets twice in Houston. Houston is 8-1 at home. Hard to say any of these are bad losses in terms of just like, All right. They lost to the Orlando Magic. Guys, the Orlando Magic are the 2 seed in the East.
They're good.
They're a good team. I think 7-2 at home. So they've been very good. They lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland. That's a good team. They lost to the New Orleans Pelicans, who right now are smacking everybody. In fact, that game's looking better, the fact that Denver only lost by 5. And they lost to the Timberwolves in Minnesota. So Denver, it's really just these road games against very good home teams who happen to be at the top of their respective conferences. You could make the case here, and I know when you watch a game that's as ugly as this one, it's hard to
the
separate
last
all.
one,
When you open
the one
your
before.
eyes.
When you open your eyes. But all I'm saying is Denver doesn't have a loss to a bad team, and they don't have a loss at home, right? So, what is it? Is there anything
you're
to this?
right. You're right, and that's why it'd be foolish to panic about this situation.
Yeah.
Because the reality of it is, yeah, they just did have a disaster of a road trip without any bad losses. They've been really bad away from home this season, and in these losses, just you've seen the worst versions of the second unit. Like, you've watched it with your eyes.
Yeah.
It's like that meme where that guy's holding that other guy's eyes open and just making him watch it. That's why it feels that way, but you're right. They have lost to good teams.
How's that called? Bird Call, that movie?
Birdwatch.
Birdwatch or Bird Call or something.
Bird Box.
Yeah.
Bird Box. I think it might be Bird Box.
Bird Box.
Did that come out during the pandemic?
Yes,
I was
that's the
gonna
only
say,
reason.
that's
That's
the
the only reason that's part of the national zeitgeist
Yeah.
is because
No, I
we
think it was
all were
pre-pandemic.
stuck inside and watch any piece of garbage. Same thing with Love Is Blind. The only reason
Love is Blind. You're
Love is
right.
Blind is a great show. Take that back.
I will not. I'm doubling.
What
tripling
else?
down.
What else is a pandemic era? I mean, the DNVR show came by.
DNVR show was big.
What else is like you remember? I mean, the Jordan doc, but that would have succeeded one way or another.
but not like it
Tiger
did.
King. You're right. The Tiger King became an
Tiger-
entire phenomenon
Yeah.
just because the pandemic.
Yeah, Tiger King may be the biggest winner of the pandemic.
by far.
Yeah.
by far.
But that's why you shouldn't panic, because they have been to good teams.
No, dude, if you're panicking, like you gotta.
If you're panicking, you have no life.
No, it's just you.
That's
just,
a little harsh. That's
It's
a
just
little harsh.
you've not watched a lot of NBA basketball. Like you don't.
Or you've watched way too much.
Yeah, it's true. We've seen that on both sides. But I mean,
Some people have fun
panic,
freaking out.
guys.
Just
Don't
like some people have fun
panic.
going crazy over a
I
meaningless
like. I
win
mean,
against
I like.
Detroit.
I like making loud exclamations that all the Nuggets suck, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't believe that. Like, talking it out,
Yeah.
getting it through it. I mean,
After
it's
this
just,
show, just go on YouTube after we're done here and just watch highlights of Game 5 of the championship.
Yeah, remember those days, man.
We were
way
just
back when.
there.
When it comes to sports, I do think people should be more like Icarus. Fly high, man. As soon as you get your wings, just fly high. Nuggets eke out a 2-point win in Detroit.
It's
We're
so
back, baby. We're back.
It's so weird to me that you always focus on Icarus. That's like a tragic story. Like, at the end, he fell to earth. And
How many people get a chance to fly?
I mean, there's stories where people just actually succeed. Like, why don't you just focus on like Michael Jordan?
Let's take a break. On the other side, let's do a little ATA solely so we can talk about the in-season tournament. Nuggets.
Oh. Is this our last show talking about the Nuggets in-season tournament?
It's our last time talking about the Nuggets
Yeah.
in season. We got to talk
Dude,
about it on the
the
other side.
in-season sucks.
Hey, you're right. We're just back to the on season after
Yeah,
this.
finally.
We're not 3-game players.
We're not, man. We're not.
Guys, if you're looking for tickets to concert shows, sporting events, check out the Game Time app. Use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but if you create an account and use code DNVR, you're going to get $20 off your first purchase with Game Time. Nuggets are coming back home. Thank God. And you know who's going to be waiting at home for them at Ball Arena? Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs
And us.
on Sunday. You get tickets to that game on the Game Time app. They got the lowest prices around. They got great last-minute price drops as well. So download the Game Time app. Concert shows, sporting events, whatever you need. Use the code DNVR. Get $20 off your first purchase. Something else you could use tonight. Some Kind Love. Kind Love, an official partner of DNVR. They're huge supporters, and they are a local brand. They're a local brand, so if you guys are in need, go to Kind Love, one of the first dispensaries in Colorado, established in 2010, known for cultivating some of the highest quality cannabis in the state. And you can go there and use code DNVR for 25% off in store. They got stores in Cherry Creek, next to PetSmart and Target off Alameda. Or you can go to North Denver, their location there. Mention DNVR, get the DNVR exclusive discount, 25% off all Kind Love flower pre-rolls and their turbo joint line. You can also visit their kindlove.com website. Use code DNVR for online ordering and their full extensive menu. Finally, DraftKings pick of the week.
What do you got for us? Hey, Wemby in town on Sunday. I'm actually very pumped for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a line for it, but I will take the Nuggets in a get-right game with Justin Holiday coming off the bench to win.
Wow. The Justin Holiday game? Oh, my goodness.
That's my prediction. My prediction is Justin Holiday enters the rotation.
He's playing for sure. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he enters the rotation for a short period of time.
Till Murray comes back.
Maybe.
Does Murray return?
Sunday?
I say no.
I don't know.
I think he was going to come back for this in-season tournament when the team was losing. He's on the road. They're like, we ain't winning.
I
We're
don't
not.
know.
We're not winning the in-season
I mean,
tournament.
they can't rush him back.
No,
We
you
can't have a season of Murray legs, you know?
Exactly. I would keep him out still.
Yeah. It might be ugly for a little bit. So the in-season tournament comes to a close for the Nuggets. I suppose there is a way in which there can be a 3-way tie, but I don't think Denver can win the tiebreaker in such a scenario.
It's over, man.
I know.
Let it go.
I'm not going to do the compliment.
Let it go.
Just let it go. Let it go, man.
It's actually, hold on.
It's not happening. We don't want the cup.
I don't even want to go to the in-season tournament anymore.
Dude, that's like perfect.
We're gonna get
attendance.
embarrassed.
It's like perfect attendance.
I don't want
nerd
it.
stuff, dude. The in-season tournament. The
Oh,
cup,
it's such nerd stuff.
Such nerd stuff.
No,
dude.
but honestly, we're joking here, but how do you feel about it? I mean, 2 weeks ago, we were very
Dude,
excited.
I wanted the cup.
We did.
It doesn't matter. It kind of matters. It doesn't matter. I wanted it, but it's also it feels shitty to be like to have lost something already.
Yeah, totally.
Like we already lost something. So the season, by definition, so far is a failure. So I don't know what to say about that.
That's a good point. Deb?
I mean, now that it's not there anymore, I could say I'm happy that it's done.
Yeah.
Just to get that expectation like out of the way and get back to playing, basketball. Also, the good thing about what they're going through right now is you could get back that hunger, like, because you could use that against, this team. Like, hey, you guys didn't make the in-season tournament. You guys are the defending champs and don't look like yourselves. This looks like rock bottom for you guys. You need to turn it around. You got to prove yourselves. So maybe this is motivation for them, like, to get back to who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved the in-season tournament. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it.
We haven't even seen the tournament part.
I know.
That's the worst.
We've seen the worst
It's gonna
part
well,
of the
it's
in-season
gonna
tournament.
be awesome, and we're gonna be like, God damn it.
Dude, I can tell you how it's shaping up already. The Lakers are in this. They're 4-0. Like, this is going to be such a, LeBron. It's going to be now 100 times more impressive by, ESPN because LeBron's in it and this or that. And that's theirs to win.
Should we go to Conspiracy Corner?
Oh, let's go. Can we go? Let's please go there.
The Lakers are 4-0 in group play
Plus 75 or
with
something
the
like that.
biggest point differential in the league.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would that happen?
Well, they are in a group with the Jazz, the Blazers, and the Grizzlies.
That's a
It's
terrible
like 3 of the worst
group.
teams ever.
How would the Lakers get in the worst group?
Well, hold up. Phoenix Suns also in that group. They are likely to win the wild card.
Man, the Lakers 4-0 heading into the first ever in-season tournament that the NBA needs to be successful.
Yeah.
Wait, the championship is in Vegas, which
Yeah.
is only
Yeah.
a short drive from
Yeah, they'll probably fly. but
LA.
Yeah.
And every time we go to Vegas for Summer League, it's just packed with Lakers fans. That
You're not
that can't be a coincidence.
Hold on, you're missing the best part of this. If you want the best part, rumored that expansion is on the horizon. I don't know if you guys heard this. Las Vegas, that's a place where they would really like to bring a team. LeBron James wants to be an owner.
Oh,
Is there a better place to go and get this thing kicked off than you have LeBron in Vegas for the
I love
tournament?
I love that we just have general NBA gripes, but now this is the in-season tournament is the
fix is
inroads.
in.
It's the inroad.
The fix
into
is in. The league does
actual
not want the
basketball
Nuggets there. They
Illuminati.
want
Lakers
the Lakers
games
there.
all sold out. What enthusiasm here for the LeBron in Las Vegas.
This is quite interesting.
This runs deep.
The more you think about it,
get more aluminum,
the
foil.
more interesting it gets.
Man, on the
more
60-year
layers you can
anniversary of the
uncover.
JFK assassination, this even more of a conspiracy than that.
Just
I feel
saying, man.
even more. Look, man, I am bummed. I don't know if this thing is gonna. Do you think the in-season tournament? From what we've talked about it a lot. I always get two responses. I always get the people that are super into it, and then the people that are like, "This is so dumb. Why do you guys pretend anyone cares?" It's half and half. I always love when people said nobody cares about this, and then my mentions are full of people who do. The one thing I'll tell you I don't like, Dev, people are always like, I'm just glad Denver's not going to have to play an extra game this year. Nothing I hate more than that. Because to me, it's like, guys, we're watching the Nuggets play because we enjoy it. This idea of taking something away from yourself just to be safe is the weirdest concept to me.
Yeah, that's dumb, for one. Because you want them to compete. You want them to have something extra, over every other team. So, of course, you want that. Now that it's not here, you could look at it as it was the shiny object that you just tried to get. It just didn't go in your favor. So, of course, you have to go a different direction. I think that the in-season tournament is great. Like, I really do. And I think that it's something that, like, keep that excitement. Now that it's not there, you just watch other teams have to go through that. But for Denver, it's still the same thing. You want them to get right because the real championship and trying to get that again is the ultimate goal, and that's still on the table.
And the best part about it is you could really feel that the players care.
I agree.
And that was the biggest worry heading into this thing. But by now, it's an open and shut case, man. They care.
Yep, I agree.
And that means it's a success.
Yeah, I mean, we have to see how it actually plays out. But it's interesting. It's fun. You know, why not? Sometimes they'll add a wrinkle to a season and it's fun, and then like in the coming years, you're like, okay, like, or they'll change like the All-Star game. And you're like, that was cool for a year, but like it's not. Then they change it back. I don't know if this has lasting power. I don't know if this is a thing that will like become a thing in the NBA. I don't know.
They'll have to tweak it a little bit.
Novelty is powerful. You know, it's like fun to just kind of do something different, like switch it up. That's why they have to change their uniforms every year. But it is getting something out of the players. Right?
Are we going to be changing our uniforms and courts every year?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You didn't realize that? Of course they are. Yes. So I don't know. It seems especially stupid at this moment, though, standing on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
You could just minimize it even further.
Yeah, it is bummer that the sun is going to set on this in-season tournament hopes. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, we'll do a quick ATA and answer your Super Chats.
Guys, check out Breckenridge Distillery. Awesome bourbon, whiskey. They've got so many awesome options at Breckenridge Distillery. They came into the bar a while back. We were able to sample a lot of their stuff. They
came in that one time we drank like 20 shots.
At like
that?
noon. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Breckenridge Distillery, they have this whiskey that's coffee flavored.
Yeah.
That is a good, delicious one.
Phenomenal.
My dad always grew up with coffee that was whiskey flavored.
Is that right? Yeah, wow. It's a little different, actually.
Yeah, but that would be my recommendation from Breckenridge Distillery. I would stand by that whiskey. They've got everybody's favorite Colorado bourbon as well. Visit BreckenridgeDistillery.com to find all of your favorite blends. BreckenridgeDistillery.com makes a great holiday gift too. Looking for something for your dad?
Oh, dude, a father-in-law,
for a family member, for a friend.
Truly, when you become an adult,
yeah,
and have other adult friends that you find yourself needing to give gifts to, the impressive bottle of alcohol that's not too expensive, not too inexpensive. It just hits. This is like the perfect place, especially with the Broncos logo on it.
Oh man,
give that away, baby.
Also, shout out to Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. We got tons of Breck Brew on tap. Breck Brews were flowing tonight here at the DNVR Bar. Avalanche Amber, saw a lot of people ordering that. Juice Drop IPA, Broncos Country Pale Ale. They got good company hard seltzers too. If you don't know where to get Breck Brew, check out the beer locator on their website. Breck Brew, the official beer of DNVR.
Alrighty, we are back. Don't forget, today's also Black Friday. Get your gifts in, guys. I'm telling you, the sticker pack, $2. Buy 20 of them and give them to all of your friends. And they'll be like, oh, how thoughtful.
20. I'm telling you, man, like this, we have sold a lot of stuff today. We have a lot of like really inexpensive stuff that just we're sitting on a lot of it. We just want to get logos out into the world. We want people to feel the love of DNVR. We want you to enjoy what it feels like to put on like one of these super high quality shirts that we put out. But like if you're thinking about it and you haven't checked it out, like I would go because like the inexpensive stuff is going.
Yeah, it's really cool. So check it out. Honestly, you can get a lot of shopping done today just at DNVRlocker.com. All right, let's go around the association. Presented by...
Still looking for a sponsor.
Still looking for a sponsor for Around the Association. We'd be saying your name right now. Superstar Dev, run us through this real quick.
So the Phoenix Suns get the win, 110-89 over the Memphis Grizzlies, who continue to spiral. They're never going to win.
They're kind of eliminated from the playoffs, or from the playoffs already.
Yeah.
Not the in-season playoffs,
yeah,
the
they're
playoff
eliminated
playoffs.
from the season.
Yeah, from the season. There you go.
Good. Devin Booker goes for 40 points in Kevin Durant's absence.
Yo, He's really freaking good, man.
I know. Again, all people of Phoenix, stop saying that Kevin Durant is your best player.
I know. Man, I'm telling you, here's the thing about Devin Booker. He does bring the best out of Murray, and he keeps raising his game. So part of me goes like, I know Murray's going to raise his game when he goes up against Devin Booker. And right now, Devin Booker looks like Kobe Bryant.
Devin Booker's a freaking beast.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The only guy that did good on Memphis Grizzlies, Derrick Rose. It's crazy.
On the other side of things,
Toronto Raptors get the win, 121-108 over the Chicago Bulls. You want to talk about a lot of losers lounges? Our guys are having a bunch of losers
one
lounges.
time a game, I see one of our CHGO guys, it's usually Will, just put a clip on Twitter, and the caption is always just, "This is the worst basketball ever." Just once a night.
Things are bad over there. Like, at least we can laugh at them because like things are great over here, but at least there's an up on the other end. Zach LaVine had 36 points in his tryouts for the Lakers. For the Raptors, it was OG Anunoby, 26 points. They had a lot of guys in double digits.
Who cares?
They're not bad. They're not good. They're just what they are. And a crazy game. The New York Knicks get the win, 100-98 over the Miami Heat. They were down by 21 points in this game, going a huge run in the fourth quarter to secure that win. Jimmy Butler misses a shot at the last. He misses the buzzer beater.
Okay.
Promises that he'll make the next one. Who knows? 23 points for him. Bam Adebayo had 21 points, 12 rebounds. On the other side of things, it was Jalen Brunson with 24 points. Emmanuel Quickley also had 20.
Knicks have a chance now to make it to the tournament. Slight chance.
I always say
This is setting up for a Lakers
I've always
Knicks
said the
final.
in-season. I've always said the in-season tournament is better with the Knicks.
Yeah, with the Knicks in it,
When
man.
the Knicks are good, the in-season tournament is better.
The Sacramento Kings get the 124-111
This is
win
big
over
time.
the Timberwolves.
Don't you feel like the Kings and Timberwolves are the same?
Yeah,
They're like cousin teams, you know? Like,
Yeah.
And the Kings go into Minnesota and get a win. I'm telling you, man, I love the Kings.
Yeah, man,
I love the Kings.
They're
I'm a
really
big
good
Kings
now that
fan.
De'Aaron Fox is back. He had
That
36
boy is
points.
nasty.
36 points, 12 assists. He did go 14 of 32. A lot of shots for him, but at least they know who their guy is. Karl Anthony Towns continues to play well. 27 points, 11 rebounds. Anthony Edwards had 35 points, but they could not get the win.
18 free throws for Anthony Edwards. Come on, play honest basketball.
Do you know what I would do if Nikola Jokic got to the line 18 times in a game?
I don't know.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
You don't want to know?
Milwaukee Bucks get the win, 131-128 over the Washington
They
Wizards.
barely beat the Wizards at home?
Barely beat them. Jordan Poole, Mr. Baddies, 26 points to lead the scorers on their side. Brooke
There's no
Lopez,
baddies in Milwaukee, man.
Brooke Lopez at 39 points in this game.
Damn.
What? That
Yeah,
doesn't even make sense.
14 of 17 from the field. That is wild. Giannis
I'm
had
telling you, man. I'm telling you.
When was
Nikola Jokic has a chance to score 100 points in a game
If he goes
when
to
the Nuggets
18.
play the Wizards. I'm telling you.
How on earth?
He has a chance to score 100 points
Brooke Lopez had
against
39?
the Wizards.
Brooke Lopez?
39.
Every other center is going off. Brooke Lopez had 39 on 14 to 17. Nikola Jokic has
Man.
a chance to do the funniest thing ever.
Come on,
to
man.
score 100 points in a game
Speaking of scoring 100
against
points
the Wizards.
in this
I'm
game,
dead serious, too.
Damian Lillard, Brooke Lopez, Giannis, they combined for like 100 points.
Wow.
The Nuggets only had like 89 in this game today. That is crazy.
Yeah.
They had good games. The Orlando Magic get the win over the Boston Celtics.
My Orlando Magic.
113-96.
My Orlando
Tatum.
Magic. This was a great one, man.
Tatum had 26 points. Al Horford was a minus 26. Jason Tatum was a minus 21. They didn't get a lot going. On the other side of things, Ben Carroll had 23 points.
That's not the story.
Wagner, the other Wagner brother.
Other Wagner.
The other Wagner.
The one with the German curls, man.
27
Uter
points.
Wagner.
That is crazy.
How many?
And then 27 points.
It's so underrated how dope it is that two brothers play together. and they play off each other. They're like the Wagner pick and roll. It's actually kind of
the Morris twins never really pulled it off that way.
No, because they were carbon copies of one another.
And
need a little variety in your family.
There's two. That was to end ATA, but if we were still in the tournament, Clippers losing right now, 45-52 to the Pelicans.
Pelicans are going to the tourney. I actually, you know what? I salute it. They belong in the tourney. The Pelicans, now that the Nuggets are out, they belong in the tourney with the Magic and the Kings and the Pacers.
Oh my God!
Pacers want to go.
I love that Adam Silver's going to end up with the Lakers and 7 of the smallest markets in the NBA.
Dude, that's best case. I'm telling you. There's something going on here. There's something going on that's bigger than this show.
Adam Silver knows.
I mean, they would have no problem jerry rigging the in-season tournament, the cup, because no one's like, we got to fight for the honor of the cup.
So true. Is that everything?
Yep, that's everything.
All right, let's hit these super chats so the Avs can have the studio, so some winners can get in here. Who's reading these for me?
Moo says $5. Thank you. Why isn't Malone putting DJ in if teams aren't worried about our defensive paint presence?
I'm going to just tell everybody right now that's not going to go well. We might come to it though. Honestly, he might play coming up in this next stint, but.
We're in a place where every answer is the wrong answer.
It's not the answer.
Why won't they play Jay Huff, man? They got to get Jay Huff out there.
I know. It doesn't matter.
Give him a chance.
All right. It's just Jordan 42069. My guy says it is unfair.
690, by the way.
Oh, yeah. 690. Okay. It is unfair that I have to pay $20 a week to work on cardio at the gym, yet Zeke gets paid $8 million a year to do the same thing. Well,
very hard, very mean, but very hilarious.
You know, like, listen, you got to be really good at gym work to be able to get that honor, I suppose. Eric, the homie, says, here's $5. I'm going to bed. See you tomorrow.
What a great dude, the homie showed up tonight with the super chat.
Just threw $5 at us.
Going to bed.
Take
Wasn't
it.
even in a wake
Take
for
it.
it.
Yeah, I appreciate that
Don't
so
even say
much.
thank you.
You know says $5. You know, I know the bench has been rough, but changing what the bench lineup is every game is allowing any sort of rhythm to form. Well, you're not wrong.
I kind of agree with this.
I know, but they're not. They don't. What are their options? Like, the thing is that the way the bench should look is like 3 guys and 2 starters.
You know what I think? This group of youngsters has to figure out. I'm fine with the discipline of like letting Holiday play and taking pay. I'm fine with it just from the hey, you need to take advantage of your moments thing here. But I'm just going to say, look, man, we kind of knew coming in this was a young group that was going to probably be better at the end than they were at the beginning. So
Yeah.
some of this I understand. And I do agree that I think you can go too far yanking around guys' minutes. You got to be a little selective.
555 says marketing idea.
Oh, God.
When you flip inside out the "All the Nuggets are good" shirt, it reveals a new shirt that says "All the Nuggets are bad."
Okay,
rough game, but we'll bounce back. I'm not going to do that.
You should do that, a reversible shirt so you can always be right. Tonight, all the Nuggets are bad.
That's actually
I'm
That's
not
actually a good
and see
idea,
what, it's
man.
called a jump to conclusions, Matt. All right. Daniel Walters says the Nuggets didn't have a championship hangover. They started the season still
Hell yeah,
drunk.
that sounds good. That
Now
sounds
is the
better.
hangover. Afternoon
dig
nap,
it.
then bounce back, starting
All right,
at
there you go.
Jokic. Yeah,
You got to get your athletic greens.
They're on their way.
AG1.
William Mitchell from the town. Can we just ban teams from doing 2 timeline
Oh,
plans?
our guy William Mitchell knows the 2 timelines.
It just
there in
wastes
Warriors.
everyone's time. Hopefully Jamal doesn't have any more health setbacks this year. No kidding.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, we should talk about this at some time. This is what doomed the Warriors. They thought they could do the Wiseman, Kuminga, Moody rebuild while also winning championships. And
I know. And the thing that sucks with them is they won 2 years ago. Okay, what do we got next? Dylan Hackett says, should we try to get Kai Jones? No! No. You know, here's
What's DeMarcus Cousins up to?
Yeah, dude, here's the thing you don't ever want to do is get a guy
Kidding.
that
Hornets don't like?
Yeah, get a guy that is so disruptive that a team like the Hornets that no one is paying attention to are like, we have to get this guy off our team.
Yeah.
They welcome back Miles Bridges. All right, CeeLo298, our homie, says, 290, if my calculations are correct, we're playing 17 road games by December 23rd. Right now, it's purgatory But if we get to Xmas above 500, we will be okay. Deep breaths. You're right.
100%. This is what I was trying to say earlier. This is the Nuggets of last year. They have a road-heavy schedule. Then they get the home stretch, and they go like 18-2 over 20-game stretch. And we're like, oh, yeah.
Of course. But then what are we going to just start
I can
every show?
guarantee you they'll be over 500, though.
You can guarantee that?
I'll guarantee that right now. I guarantee it.
Dude.
But what are we going to
Guarantee it.
start every show, say that, and then turn it off?
No, I mean, you're right.
We're just gotta talk about the games, man. And what's not working.
know.
But you're not wrong, of course. We want to macro this thing too. All right.
We wanted 60 wins. We're not. I don't think we're gonna get it.
What's that scale?
All right, hit that
That's
outro
it.
music.
Okay.
We got to give the studio to the Avs. They have a winners lounge coming
Yeah,
up,
dude, we
unlike
don't
us
deserve,
losers.
we don't deserve this fucking lounge.
So
Damn it.
check them out, guys. Everybody, thanks
Can't
for
even
watching.
look
Go
at us.
DNVRlocker.com. Hit the like button on the way out.
get DNVR Locker. Get it hot. Get it while now it's hot, baby.
We all silly like the mayor.